Hey guys, Ludicrous Kingdom here. Yeah, sorry I haven't made a video for the past few days. I've actually been quite busy because I've been entertaining a guest. Yes, my girlfriend visited from interstate. We're in a long distance relationship, and I've been spending some time with her over the past few days, so I haven't really had time to make a video. And yeah, it was great. Well, I showed her around some parts of Brisbane, my hometown, that she hadn't seen before. We had a go at the new Wii U console. They had a setup um, in the city where you could have a go at it, and it's really quite fun too. And it's very different from the consoles that you and me are used to. Um, it's got like the controller is sort of like it's what they call the gamepad, and it's got this screen on it, which is sort of like a touch screen, and it looks kind of like one of those handheld consoles you can get, and it works a lot like the Wii in the sense that you have to move the controller to uh, uh, as part of playing the game, and yeah, it's actually quite fun. I'm actually considering buying one. Um, well, if I can afford it, that is. um, what else did we do? We went to this place here where you can hire out a private karaoke room for a couple of hours. Yeah, so it's just you and a mate or a few mates just in your own room with the karaoke machine, and you just pick songs you want to sing, and yeah, it's really great fun, especially if you're the kind of person who doesn't like singing in public because it's a private setting, and and if you're a karaoke champion who regularly participates in karaoke competitions, it's a great place to practice, and they have a huge selection of songs there, which is good. I got to sing a few of my favorites. Um, what else did we do? I introduced her. We drove down to my hometown of Ipswich, where I introduced her to my friends and family, and they love her. They really do. I mean, I was nervous for her, like especially meeting my family, because well, anyone who, I mean, if you're in a relationship or you're engaged or married, think back to the first time you met your in-laws. Um, it can be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, uh, but uh, but hopefully they ended up loving you as my family did my girlfriend, and I'm so glad that they did. Um, what else do we do? We went up to this place near Brisbane called Mount Cootha, where we visited the botanical gardens that are there, and they've got this lookout where you look out over the whole of the city of Brisbane. So we had a little picnic lunch there, which was fun. And another thing they've got there is the Sir Thomas Brisbane Planetarium, named after Sir Thomas Brisbane, who was the namesake of the city of Brisbane. There you go. And it was quite fun. She'd never been there before, obviously, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid. I remember I once went there for a school trip when I was in primary school or elementary school, if you will, if you're in America. Um, and yeah, we saw this show they had there called um, Cosmic Collisions, which is basically a documentary about how collisions in outer space shape the galaxy as we know it today, and we actually learned a couple of really interesting things. Uh, Back when the Earth was very young, this asteroid about the size of Mars hit it and almost destroyed it, and it sent all this debris and molten rock into outer space, but the Earth's gravitational pull kept it from floating away. And over time, over the many years, the all the debris and molten rock would form into these big shapes, and eventually the big shapes formed onto the other big shapes and just get bigger and bigger until they formed into what we now know as our moon. So yeah, that's how the moon was formed. And another thing we learnt is that our galaxy, the Milky Way, is very slowly heading towards another galaxy, Andromeda. And in a few billion years' time, those two galaxies will collide to form a supermassive galaxy. Uh, but don't worry, as I said, it isn't for a few billion years, so we won't really be alive by the time it happens. Um, but even if it did happen uh, in this day and age, I don't think it would have much of an effect on us, because well, here's another fun fact: the Milky Way moves through the universe at a rate of, I think it's 2 million kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in miles an hour, but yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because well, I mean, it doesn't feel like we're moving. I mean, we know the Earth orbits around the sun. We don't feel that, and we certainly don't feel the galaxy moving through the universe at 2 million k's an hour. But apparently it does. It's amazing what you learn about the universe we live in. So yeah, that's been my last few days. I'm really sorry once again I haven't had time to make videos. Hopefully this one makes up for it. So yeah, so there's only a few days of Movember left. As usual, the link to my Movember page is down below, so please give as much as you can. Even if it's only $1, it doesn't matter, every little bit helps. And it's growing quite nicely, don't you think? Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Thank you for watching once again. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this is Ludicrous Kingdom, signing off.